If anybody want to see, just be here and observe the screen. You can check the. అక్కడ కూర్చొని ఇక్కడ కూర్చోండి. I'll explain. కూర్చోండి. Take chairs and sit down. Okay, fine. So first thing ఏంటంటే whenever we come to the database, normally for creating the tables you are using the command prompts. Okay. Here the best tool, one of the best tool for MySQL is Workbench. So try to use Workbench for the things. Okay, so try to use Workbench this is a one of the common tool. Now here in Workbench, first thing is on the XAMPP server. Uh, just I'll show you one side how to on the. Just go to XAMPP. Okay, inside XAMPP, you need to on MySQL. That is the first thing you have to do on MySQL. If it is on, not issue. If it is not started, you have to start the MySQL. Okay. Then come to the database. Now here by default, if you want to add a connection to MySQL, just click on the plus symbol over here. And once you click on plus symbol, just give a connection name. Any name you can give. LFDC project. That is the name of the connection. And next thing is you need to give the IP address. IP address is nothing but normally for local system, IP will be 127.0.0.1. If it is any other thing where any other place or any other, you need to mention the IP address. Okay. So by default, the local system IP will be 127.0.0.1. Then root username is root. Password, if you have any, give the password. Okay. Here it is. I don't think there is a password in this. And any default schema name. As of there is no database name. So just click on test connection. Connection is successful. So click on OK. And the connection will be added to the screen. So whichever connection you wanted to open, that just click on that and database will be opened for us. This is first step. Now next thing is first I need to create the database. We are only connected. For opening the database, just I can type a command over here, create database followed by any name. Or we have tools at the top. You are having something like a database command. Just click on that and give a name for the database. LFDC is already there. I'll give something like a project. Okay, the database name is project now. And click on apply. It is not accepted. The occurrence. I'll give something like BSc. Okay, click on apply and finish. And you can see at the side, the database BSc has been created. We have other databases also, just don't worry. Okay, whatever databases you have created, you can see over here. Now inside this, if I want to create a table once again, I can just manually type the command, create table, table name, and all the things. Columns, everything. Or just go to the tables, right click, and create table. Okay. Now give the name of the table, something like STD, and column names. First column name, admission number, integer. Then second column, student name. Never give a space for the column names. Then address. then followed by something like mobile. Okay. Okay. Now once I've given all the column name, just click on apply to the bottom. The command will come. If it is okay, everything is okay. Primary key it has automatically defined for admission number. And other columns it has automatically as not null, null, null. So depending automatically it will classify the things. Click on apply. Finish. Okay. Now table is created successfully. Yes, you can click on the arrow mark and check whether table is created. Okay. Now to insert the values again, I can give a command over here. Insert values into table name, or just again right click the table and click on select rows. As of there are no rows. That's why table is empty. Just as you're typing in Excel, type the values. Type some values. Okay, once it is done, just click on apply. Again, it will pronounce the insert command along with the syntax, everything. You can check it out and click on apply. The values will be inserted successfully. Okay. Just if you want to check whether values are inserted, at the top, the yellow button is execute button. So execute button is for this command. Select start from table name. So just click on that, refresh it, the table's value will be. Suppose if you have closed it once again. Again, do the same thing. Again, right click and select table, or at the last you have a tool here. Either of them you can use. The table is successfully created. Like this, you can create as many number of tables you require. Now this has to be connected to the PHP. Okay. So come to PHP. Inside PHP, the projects have to be created in XAMPP folder. XAMPP is there in D drive for my computer. In D drive, HD docs. Okay. Now there's a project folder. So now what you can do is first thing, whatever you wanted. Okay. Suppose here normally we create the PHP files. Normally we create any PHP files over here. Suppose you might get a doubt over here if I create any HTML files, what to do? Okay. Anything, try to create a folder here. Okay. Try to create a new folder. Uh, with your project title or project name, whatever it may be. Okay. Any files save inside this. It can be HTML, it can be CSS, it can be PHP files, anything. Why is, and what type of files you have to save in PHP, what type of files in HTML is. Suppose if you are having any file with database connection in any HTML page, I require a database connection. Make that as PHP. Or if I require any coding, like any control statements I have to use, if conditions or any loops I need to use, or variables, functions I have to use, then go for PHP. Otherwise, go for normal HTML page. And that HTML page also save it in the same folder. Yeah. HTML, CSS, PHP, everything in the same folder. Because it will be easy for you to navigate if it is in the same folder. Okay. So inside project folder, project file only, create a folder. Inside that, create the files. Yeah, everything, even images, also save it in the same folder. Images, videos, links, anything, whatever you have having control, everything save it in the same folder. So that everything is at one place and you can directly display things. PHP, any conditions, loops, anything, save it in PHP. Database connection, save it in PHP. Nothing is just a plain HTML page. Okay, just don't make it complicated. Only when required, only use PHP. Otherwise, go for HTML. Okay. Now, if I want to create a PHP file, just we go to the I'll open. Okay, so this is a connection page I am opening. I'm saving in the same location. Insert XAMPP, htdocs, and the folder which I've created is projects. Okay, inside that I'll make something like page one dot. I'm saving this as page one dot php. Okay, now here few things I'll explain. Here we have a word called as define. Define is nothing but similar to that of in C language we have hash define, hash define, constant. Okay, we are defining a variable with a value. Okay, so here I'm using four different variables. One is db host, db user, db pass, db name. db host is nothing but IP address. So what is the IP address? 127.0.0.1. Now username. Username is root. Password there is nothing, so leave it blank. And database name. Database name is nothing but whatever database I have given over here. BSC. BSC is a database name. So BSC. Okay. Now, uh, now I'm using try catch block. Try catch already you know what is the meaning of it. And the connection string that I'm going to use is PDO connection. There are different types of connection, but this is a standard connection that we have to use, PDO connection. So for that PDO, I'm creating a new object, and the database is of type MySQL colon host is equal to, okay. Here IP address I've given to the variable DB host. I've given the variable over here, and dot is a concatenating operator. Dot is a concatenating operator. So host, I've given the whatever the host variable I've defined. Dot, then semicolon, database name. Database name must include three things: database name, username, password. Okay. So database name DB name, comma DB user, comma DB pass, comma array is nothing but what is the type of connection that I wanted to set. My type of connection is SQL attribute initialization command. So whatever commands is there in SQL, I have to use it. And the connection is UTF-8. UTF is the most simple thing I can tell you is updated versions of ASCII formats. ASCII versions. So ASCII is not used, but updated is UTF. So that is a connection. And this entire connection I am giving to the variable DBH. Remember this. The connection which I have established from PHP to MySQL is been into the variable DBH. Okay, and I have entirely enclosed in the try catch block. Now with this, a connection will be established. I did not get you now. No? Try catch. Suppose if there is an error in the database, if the database might exist, might not exist, anything it can be. So it must not lead to termination of the program. Yeah, DBH is a variable name where the connection string is stored. Entire connection string is stored. So whenever I want to open any, I want to read. Now what I can do from the PHP is four things. DML commands. Whatever DML commands we have. Insert, delete, update, one more, select. Four DML commands. Insert, delete, update, select. These four commands I can use. So whenever I want to use these four commands, I'll be using this variable DBH. Okay. So now what I'll do is take I'll open the PHP once again. I'll tell you why I'm opening it. I'll declare one more variable, something like SQL is equal to. Here to this variable, what I'll do is I want to read the data from this table. Select star from HTTP. Okay. So select star from HTTP. The variable name is SQL just. Now I want to prepare the connection. So we have a variable called as prepare, okay, of what I need to prepare. I need to prepare the SQL connection. Okay, so prepare of instead of typing, just I'll try to copy the data so that we can do it off in a faster way. So query that I'm going to pass is select star from font size with the yellow. Okay, so select star from street is a table for which I'm saying prepare SQL, for which I'm again using the DBH. DBH is nothing but the connection string which has been established already. Connection is already established. DBH of arrow. Arrow operator is nothing but it will be able to point to something. Arrow is nothing but hyphen and greater than symbol. Same of you used to use in the pointers. And this entire thing, connection and the SQL query, I'm assigning it to one more variable, query. And what I'm doing in the next line is this one I'll remove. I'll tell you what is this afterwards. Query of execute. So I'm executing that query. After executing, means query has been executed. Then I need to read the data. For reading the data, we have one more statement called as fetch data, fetching the data from the database. So from the query which has been read the data. Fetch all means it will fetch the entire data from the database. Okay, and as a PDO object, fetch object. Okay, that data which has been read, like if we take this table now, how many rows I'm having? 5 rows. So that complete 5 rows are assigned to the variable results. Result is a variable, results is a variable which is having entire 5 rows. Now I want to check whether the data is opened or not. Connection is read and the data has been read or not. So for that again I'll use one more if condition, checking whether the data has been read or not. So I'll use if query is nothing but whatever the query is there. Row count. Row means how many rows are there. If row count is greater than 0, meaning of that is some data is there in the database and it is able to read. Otherwise, it will result. We can take the else block. Data is not able to read or something we can write. Now, once the data is read, I want to read the data. So I'll take for loop, for each loop. I'll take for each loop. And what is the data read into results? Results is the data which has been read. Results as uh, something like I'll take one more variable R1. So in results, how many rows are there? 5 rows. So for each means every row. So first row is assigned to R1, second row is assigned to R1, third row, fourth row, fifth row, like that. So every row has been assigned to the variable R1. Now I want to display this data. So for displaying, what I'll do is I'll take normal tables in HTML. Okay. So before this, I'll open a HTML tag. And I'll directly go for body, and I'll take a table. What is the first column? Admission number, right? Second column is name. Whatever columns I want, I can. Third column, address. I'm having four columns, right? Okay, fine. Now, next thing. Here, this is the first row data. And this table closing everything, I'll remove it from here. And I'll keep it at the last. HTML table closing everything. And here, I did not close the PHP. Okay. Now, inside this, I want to read a data for every row. Okay. For every row, I need to read a data. Okay. I need to write the data. Okay. So I'm reading the data here. For writing a row, again, I need TD, TH, TR, everything. So what I'll do is I'll close the PHP tab over here once again. Okay. I'll open row. Inside row, I require four TDs now for four rows. Okay. Then here again, I'll open the PHP tab. I'll once and I'll explain you it. See here, what I'm trying to do here is I open if condition, okay, and I open for loop. Then after opening, I've closed the PHP tag. I've come back to HTML again. Come back to HTML. After HTML, again I've opened PHP. Then the closing of for loop, which was here, is been done over here, and closing of if condition, which was here, is done over here. So I can use alternatively open PHP, do the things, close PHP, use HTML. But opening and closing has to be done properly. Otherwise, errors will come. Errors means it will not display errors, but page itself will not display properly. Okay. Now again, inside each row, I want to display the values. Okay. So for displaying the values, I'll use a statement called as I'll open PHP again, or I'll copy this code also. I hope you are following what I'm saying, everyone. See here. Again inside TD, I've opened PHP. I've used echo. Echo is a output statement in PHP. And for that, I've used HTML elements, means convert this value, convert the database value, result, and it is not result, it is R1. R1 is nothing but first row value from the table in that admission number. Okay. This convert into HTML entities and print it into the table. Followed? Understood everyone? Okay. So again, after doing this, I've closed the PHP. So again, I need to copy the same things for all the four rows. But column names are going to differ. Second column name is STD name. Third column name is address. Fourth is mobile. Clear? Everyone now follow till here. Okay. Now we'll see the output of this. localhost. Project name is project in capital letters. Huh? Project in capital letters. So you have to give it capitals only, otherwise it will not work if I have given it project. So pages, page one dot php. There is a mirror, line number 14. Mm, DB host. Okay, it is not going to the connection. Just a minute.
I request everyone to pay attention to the following announcement. There is an announcement from Horizon Club. All the Horizon Club members are instructed to gather in Market Hall immediately after the break for the Happy Horizon session. I repeat, all the Horizon Club members are instructed to gather in Market Hall immediately after the break for Happy Horizon session. Thank you.
Sorry, no, no. Be loud. No, I'm not getting it. ఇవాళ నాన్న అది ఇక్కడ స్పేస్ ఇచ్చిన దట్ మైట్ బి ద ప్రాబ్లమ్ ఐ టెల్ యూ anything you can use. This will be better. Now, if you use brackets or Notepad plus plus, that will be you can get it in colors and indentation will be proper. If you use Notepad, everything will be in straight line. We can we can use that also. Is went to the connection, but there's some error over here. I gave it capital letters. There's a problem. Okay. So if you type in capital or smalls, it will give a number. Followed. So this is way we are able to display the data in MySQL to PHP. So try to create the table, and next I'll try to do for insert. How to insert the data from PHP to MySQL. So insert, update, or delete will be almost same. Okay.